minerals, and let us hear what you have to say.
Now you can get Talk 1470 WNN on 95.3 FM too. Loud and clear, Health and Wealth Radio, WNN.
Hi, it's Jay Foster. Join us 7 days a week from 2 to 3 p.m. for Health Connection Radio. We'll talk about natural cholesterol control, toxic metal syndrome, how to reverse bone loss, and the latest scientific research on vitamins and minerals. We'll have fascinating guests, and we'll take lots of your calls, too. So join us 7 days a week from 2 to 3 p.m. for Health Connection Radio right here on WNN.
Download the iRadio Now app for iPhone or Android phones. Free at your iPhone App Store or Android App Market. Take AM 1470 WWNN with you wherever you go.
Times are tough, and right now those in the commercial world know that being heard via advertisements is the name of the game. AmpSquare.tv understands how important advertisement is and is proud to express that it's truly the only plugged-in internet television production company on the market. Amp2.tv live streams all their shows across all the major selling markets in the U.S. and abroad. Call them at 866-224-5422. The AmpSquare.tv library allows productions to be seen over and over again, making commercial platforms more usable. Call 866-224-5422. Toll free 866-224-5422. Amp2.tv, the first and only internet television network that's truly plugged in. 866-224-5422. That's AMP2.TV. From simple sprains to highly complex surgeries, the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County has been serving the South Florida community for over 65 years with the finest orthopedic and pediatric care. Our physicians are each experts in their field, providing a complete spectrum of musculoskeletal care from prevention and diagnosis to treatment and rehabilitation for every part of the body in both children and adults. Our doctors are able to perform the most advanced treatment options available, including PRP therapy, stem cell, arthroscopic surgery, and microsurgery. At the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County, we are dedicated to providing a comprehensive solution to get you back to your routine as quickly as possible, in the shortest period of time, with the least amount of inconvenience. With 3 beautiful new offices located in Lake Worth, Boynton Beach, and Wellington, we are able to provide much-needed care to families in the South Florida area. Give us a call at 561-967-6500. From our experienced physicians to the most advanced treatment options to our state-of-the-art facilities and excellent support staff, the Orthopedic Center of Palm Beach County is committed to providing you with the very best care. Call us at 561-967-6500 or find us at www.ocpbc.com.
Talk 1470 is WWNN Pompano Beach and 95.3 FM W237BD Boca Raton, the Health and Wealth Radio Network.
American Legion Post 142 in Pompano Beach would like to recognize and salute the men and women in uniform that are standing tall for our political and economic freedoms around the globe. Let's remember them this Veterans Day in our thoughts, prayers, and letters from home. That's from American Legion Post 142 in Pompano Beach, reminding everyone we live in the land of the free because of our brave. For information on membership or to donate your time, finances, and resources, call 954-942-2448. The members of American Legion Post 142 say USA all the way.
And now a stock market moment by Online Trading Academy.
Then I get an email, and last October the email said, I'm now consistently have been for the last 3 months making $300 a day. $300 a day represents $75,000 extra a year on top of my pension and my Social Security.
We can teach you how to generate income in the markets, whether the markets are going up, down, or sideways.
If you're the type of person that can follow a set of rules, I'd love to see you here at the Academy.
Tired of losing money in your mutual funds or 401ks just because the stock market goes down? Since 1997, Online Trading Academy has taught over 100,000 people the right way to trade stocks, options, futures, and Forex in a real classroom setting. See for yourself how money is made in down markets at a free half-day class at Online Trading Academy. Call to reserve a seat, 561-674-9800. 561-674-9800. That's 561-674-9800.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Do you have enough light in your life? Are you soaring in the joy around you? Are you stuck and unable to make life happen? Stay tuned for the Rabbi Jenny Show, where you will learn how to bask in the light and find more joy and meaning in life. Call to talk to Rabbi Jenny at 888-565-1470 and email questions and comments at rabbijenny.com. And now, if you're ready, stay tuned for the Rabbi who will light your world on fire, Rabbi Jenny.
Hey everyone, welcome. Happy Wednesday. It's a wonderful, exciting day here on the Rabbi Jenny Show, full of lots of surprises, which it just seems like a day for that. You know, you just got to ride that energy. A couple things I want to remind you. We are live on Facebook. Very exciting. Also exciting is we are 1470 AM in Boca, and we are also 95.3 FM, which is so cool. I mean, come on now. We're on the FM. It's like a little bit of a dream of mine. I want to remind you of RabbiJenny.tv, and you can always go on YouTube and put in the Rabbi Jenny Show. This will definitely be a show you'll want to replay. The topic is exciting, and I'm going to be kind of helping you get in touch with your inner voice and listening to your inner guidance. I also want to start with our two main Rabbi Jenny ideas. I want you to take these to your heart, and if you've never heard them before, I want you to make them a part of your everyday life. These are my two main ideas. I use them in every difficult situation. I actually used them a lot when I woke up this morning. But the first one is this: the world is happening for you and not to you. That's 100% of the time the world is happening for you and not to you. And why is idea number 2, that you are divine love light energy and you are always growing and you are always expanding. So it feels like it hurts or it feels a little messy, like today's a little bit messy. If it feels like that, that's probably good, because birth always occurs and it's a little messy. You know, when you're putting the cake in the oven, you put the ingredients in the oven, you know, they're gooey for a while. You got to leave it in there till you take it out and eat it, okay? So we get a little messy before things happen. So the world is happening for you and not to you, and you are divine love light energy. And that brings us, there's so many topics tonight. There's so much I want to say. There's so much going on in the world. And I think that I'm just going to have to just go with it with you guys today, because I'm feeling a lot of light, a lot of spirit. There's so much energy in the studio. We have 2 fabulous guests, a lot of stuff to tell you about. This is a sacred day for my people, and if you're of the Jewish faith, you know that this day in history is Kristallnacht, which was the moment, they call it the broken glass, the night of the broken glass. And today commemorates the 2-day period in which the Germans went in and destroyed all of the synagogues in Germany and smashed all the beautiful stained glass windows. And this is kind of a solemn day. It's kind of a day of remembrance. And it's ironic that it's coming on a day of sort of a shift in our country. We don't know where we're going or how it's going to turn out. So there's all this like energy, you know, of this November 9th time. So I just want to put that out there. I want to remind you that things do heal, things do change. We never know what to expect from what's happening, but we have to trust our own inner guidance, which is our topic. Listening for divine guidance and acting on it. And our inspiration, of course, is the Torah. The Torah portion for this week is one of my favorites. It's Noach. It's not Noah. We know him as Noah, but he's not Noah. He's Noach. And I make that really clear because the difference between a ch and a ha in Judaism is huge. 2 different letters, okay? They mean 2 different things. And his name, Noah, in Hebrew is Noach. And the story of Noah is one of the greatest examples of divine guidance. And it actually marks a pattern in Genesis, where we are in this first part of the Torah, where almost every single leading character in this cycle of patriarchs, Noah being the first one, has to listen to a voice on the inside and make a decision counter to the view on the outside. Okay, so what happens in the story of Noah, we know how it goes. You know, things are going good. It's sunny out. It's nice. It's lovely. The world's fabulous. We're sinning a little bit. There's probably a little, you know, gambling, a little marijuana opening up, a little strip clubs, you know, alcohol, billboards, you know, sort of like now. Anyways, that's my soapbox, okay? You know, drive down I-95 in Florida, you don't see anything good on a billboard anymore. But anyway, so you get Noah, and he's living in this fun, fancy, free world, and might even have looked pretty good. I assume it looked pretty good to him and felt pretty good. So then he gets this voice that says, hey, Noah, I need you to build me a boat because I'm flooding things. I'm done. The man's wicked. We're going to clean it out. We're going to clean out the world. You're going to build a big boat. You're going to put 2 of every kind on it. You're going to put your family on it. And you're just going to sail out to sea until I tell you not to. Cuckoo, right? Now, what I always teach you on the Rabbi Jenny Show is every character in that code, in that Torah, is you. There is a Noach inside of you. So this show is about the Noach in you, the part of you that is going to need to prepare for a flood and grab everything inside of you, put it in that ark of your heart, and move forward and wait for direction. And that's just what Noach is all about. Now, how do we know we've gotten divine guidance? Well, so many teachers talk about this, but Caroline Mace was one of my favorite teachers. I've done so many workshops with her. She does such a great example of the crazier the guidance, the more it's probably divine. And when I say crazy, I don't mean like nuts, like jump off a bridge or something. I mean like where it opposes reality. Because divine works in paradox. So if it looks safe, it's scary. If it looks scary, it's safe. If it looks dark, it's light. If it looks light, it's dark. So often we're judging our world by our outer eyes and what we hear with our outer ears. But listening for divine guidance is about listening with your inner ears and looking with your inner eyes. Okay? So Noah might have seen a sunny sky. And so when God was saying, it's going to rain, man, for 40 days, I'm telling you. He had to know, what is the difference? What is it about this guidance? How do I know I'm having it? Now, I can only tell you, I think you learn to follow divine guidance by just doing it. You learn which voice inside of you is that voice, that gut voice, by just taking a chance. So this Rabbi Jenny Show, especially with our 2 guests, is all about, I am encouraging you to take that chance. If you're in a situation in your life and you're getting this idea, I just need to go take that class, or I just need to go there, or I just need to drive this different one. I need to do, and you keep getting the same thing over and over again. I want to encourage you, this is the time to act on it, because the communication between you and you will only begin if you engage in a conversation, okay? If you don't talk to yourself, if you don't listen to that voice inside, or at least try to, you're never going to know if it's going to work out or not. I have a great story about divine guidance. It's actually one of the craziest stories about divine guidance that I've ever gotten. And I was running out of money after settling for my divorce, and I was really getting divine guidance. Don't take a job yet. Wait for me. Don't take a job. Don't take a job. You'll be all right. I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you. I'll take care of you. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm not afraid to be poor. I don't care. Whatever. And then all of a sudden I was at this Martin Luther King event, and I was preaching at this Martin Luther King event, and this woman gets up and talks, this Haitian woman gets up and talks about her kids. And she starts talking, my children, you need to read with my children, and I need people to help me read with my children. And I thought she was a teacher at the elementary school in Lake Worth, Florida. And I was like, I thought I was just going to go read with kids. And this voice, my voice that I've listened to become a rabbi, I've listened to have my son, I've listened to when it was time to do things, said, you're going to go up to that woman and you're going to give her your card and you're going to tell her you'll do anything she wants for free. I have no money. I'm drained the whole thing out. I haven't been working. I'm like, for free. Okay, that's great. So, and I'm the one who is up front. So I'm like, walk up to her and say, hi, I'm Jenny. I'll do whatever you want for free. She's like, excuse me? And then we left. Well, I end up meeting with Reggie, and a couple weeks later we meet for lunch, and it turns out she doesn't run she's not a teacher in an elementary school. She runs the organization for the children. And turns out I have history with program development, and it became this incredible relationship where I'm still very associated with the organization, and we built programs together, after school programs, and I adore her. But it was a good example of waiting on that voice too. And I think sometimes we don't want to wait on guidance. And that's one of my messages also today, is to go for it. But also, if you're not getting a hit, if you're not getting a go, don't, and trust that you will. One of our problems as human beings is we are creating from the bottom up. We're allowing our tribe to make our decisions for us. We're allowing the behavior and patterns of our past, of our parents, of our community, of our world to make our choices for us. But we're supposed to be creating from the top down. Noah creates from the top down. Noah waited, and when he got that message, it came down here, and he went, oh my God, that's crazy. And he had to keep going. You know, the great thing about Noah's name, Noach, is that when you look at the two letters that make up his name in the code, you have a nun and you have a chet. And this is really, really important because a nun is a very sacred letter in Judaism because it's the beginning of the words neshama and nefesh, which are two words to describe the soul on different levels of reality. Okay, so the nun is there. And then instead of a hey, which would be Noah, it's not. It's a Noach, which is a chet, which is chai, life. You know, there's an urgency. It's two little letters, his name. You know, you have Avraham, you have all these long names. His name is little bitty guy. And what he does is amazing, you know. And he only brings the essentials too. So we think we need so many things to recreate magic in our lives, but we don't. I'm actually going through something like that in my life where I'm being led and guided. And one of my fears, you know, I love to share that with you. One of my fears is that I won't get what I need. You know, I'm going to just leap out again. Are you crazy? I won't get what I need. And, you know, spirit or that voice or that heart, that soul, the kindness of the people I trust that mentor me, you know, it's, yes, you will, you know, but if you don't go forward, you bring the essentials. You know, when they say bring the animals 2 by 2 by 2, I believe those are all inside of you too. You know, what is in the one is in the whole, right? So all those animals, all those beings, all those species, they're inside of your heart. And they represent the species of love, the species of compassion, the species of anger, the species of, all different kinds of things that we have inside of us. Everything that makes up humanity, all the colors of the rainbow. That's the greatest part of the Noah story, right? I think last year I taught on the animals in the Noah story. This year I'm teaching it from a little bit of a different perspective. And maybe it's because of the day. You know, when I woke up this morning and the election happened, and it wasn't necessarily the way I thought it was going to go or wanted it to go. As a teacher, as a rabbi, as a person who talks to people and helps people, I don't really have the freedom to go off as much as I would really like to. And I certainly want to challenge myself not to as much as possible. But I really thought, you know, what could this mean mystically if I look at the Noah story? What could this mean? It's a Noah week in the Torah. You know, we read one portion, and this is the week we're reading Noach. So what could this mean that this is happening now? And I think it's a sign that we can build an ark. This is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for growth. It's an opportunity to go out there. It's an opportunity to maybe wait a little bit too. You know, wait and see. You know, one of the most beautiful parts of Mrs. Clinton's speech, which I have chills talking about it. Because if you haven't watched anything and you're a person in this country, you got to watch it because she's been working for us for a long time. And she says that. She goes, you know what? Let's wait. Let's see what he does. That's class. You know? And the way, you know, we still have to call to action. We still have to, everything we started, everything we dream of, everything that we hope of, everything that we want in the world, we still have to do that, folks. You know, we've been through a lot of presidents in my lifetime. But the ground people never change. The people working in the after-school programs never change. The people like our guests today, they don't change. We're still on the ground. We're still fighting. We're still growing. We're still bringing color, light, and love into the world. This is Rabbi Jenny talking about divine guidance. Stay tuned for a fabulous guest. Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from The Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life. The presidential candidates are talking about it. The talk show hosts are talking about it. It's all over the news. Maybe it's time you should start talking about it. Maybe it's time for you to get help. If you or someone you love is suffering from a heroin addiction, Epiphany Resources has the solution for you. Heroin addiction manifests in an apathy and a disinterest in life. At Epiphany Resources, Rabbi Jenny and her acclaimed clinical team reignite and empower their clients to embrace life for a bright future in recovery. With groundbreaking creative and spiritual modalities combined with narrative reframing and cognitive behavioral therapy, the team at Epiphany Resources neutralize the cravings for heroin and reawaken one's desire for joy and life. It's time to talk about it. It's time to heal. It's time to recover from heroin addiction. Contact Epiphany Resources at www.etcfl.com or call 561-777-0241. Epiphany Resources. It's time to begin. The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Caladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net. You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
Hey, welcome back. It's Rabbi Jenny. We are talking about listening to divine guidance. We're here. It's the day after the election. It's also Crystal Nach, and it is the portion Noah. And I'm very excited now to introduce our bad Mama Jamma. Rabbi Jenny. Mama Jamma. Mama Jamma. We want to welcome to the Rabbi Jenny Show the beautiful and very, the lightest energy if you're around Colleen Sturgis. She is the founder of Beyond Fitness,
yes.
The home of Rock Steady Boxing, which is boxing for Parkinson's. Say hi to Colleen.
Hi.
Okay. So you heard the topic. We're going to get right to it because we're getting right to it. So the topic is divine guidance, and I want to hear the story of Beyond Fitness. And I just want to hear your big, she's been telling me about this story I got to hear. So let's hear it. Okay.
So it kind of goes in tune with the rainbows and Noah because my boyfriend and I were in New Zealand. And on the trip, we kind of liked the way that people started to work together and families worked together. And we knew we wanted to create something. And that whole trip, we kept seeing this rainbow.
Oh,
the
wow.
most beautiful rainbows ever. And we kind of just started trusting right on that trip. And we started feeling, even knowing where we were supposed to go on the trip, we just kept following our heart. So when we got back from the trip, we still weren't sure what we were going to do, what we were going to create together. I've been in fitness for 13 years, and he does TV production. But we kind of just started listening. And I meditate. So I listen to myself in meditation, myself, God, that voice. And I kept hearing this voice that says, you need to take a leap of faith. A leap of faith. And I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? I support my son, and it's me. And just stop doing what I'm doing. And I was working at a very good paying job. And I kept going to that job. I kept showing up. And as I kept showing up, I kept picturing myself as this little girl screaming. And I kept trying to put my hand over her mouth. And I started getting sad as I kept going to work. And I loved what I did. I was helping people. I was training and teaching. But there was something that needed to change.
Yeah.
So I started trying to get other jobs here or there. But nothing held on. So I was meditating one night. And I just started crying. And I cried the hardest for about an hour.
That's your flood. That's your Noah.
I cried for an hour.
The flood.
My boyfriend was there comforting me and just telling me it's okay. And then after that hour of crying, I just kind of laid in pure bliss. I was just in this space of peace, of love. I almost felt like I was embraced. And I laid there and I just took a little rest. I took my rest. And as soon as I woke up, I had my fears, my doubts were gone. I actually went into work the next day and I quit my job.
Wow.
And I did not know what I was going to do. I didn't have a plan. I just knew I had to do it. So I quit my job. I just trusted.
Yeah.
And I trusted that feeling within me. And through the whole development of this business, you know, it hasn't been easy. You know, you're not knowing exactly what you're doing, but I kept just saying, listening to that voice, talk to this person, call this person up. You know, don't get stressed out about things. Enjoy life. And I kept just following that. And I even asked one of my clients, asked him if he would invest in a business idea I'd had. And he said yes. And the funny thing is I felt that he would say yes. But I was like, you know, you have these feelings. And that's so important, to trust your feelings. Your feelings are your guide. So if you're sad, you sit with it. You feel it. You say, you connect with that feeling, and you just shift a little. Sometimes I get sad or a little depressed, and I step back, I listen, and I say, maybe I just need to redirect my life just a little bit to this direction. And I follow the feelings, and I follow my inner voice. And this whole time, this whole process, every person I met, I've kind of heard that voice, go talk to them. And I hear it like, just like you were saying. And the funny thing is when we had our grand opening, it's a beautiful sunny day. We had a little rain and a big rainbow.
Oh my God! So we got to get to the business. Now, for people who are listening, we want to get to the business, Colleen.
So,
tell them about Beyond Fitness.
Okay.
Tell them as much as you can.
So Beyond Fitness is a concept that we created. It's a community-based fitness center, and we're there just to help people of our community through exercise. And the word is beyond because we want it to be more than exercise. We not only want to train them physically, but also mentally, creating them to find that peace within, to give them hope. And for, you know, my partner and I, we just want to share love with them. And so we have Rock City Boxing, which is a boxing class for Parkinson's.
So cool.
We do yoga, meditation, dance classes, strength training, Pilates. And then we even have some other classes starting next month. We have Dancers with Disabilities for autism and Down syndrome.
So cool.
We have an I Am Beautiful for girls starting in January. And then we have teens and kids classes. And each of those classes, they're either boxing or cardio, but it's more than that. We teach them about being themselves and inspiring them to be the best they can be.
How do people find the schedule? You have a website.
So I have a website,
Okay.
www.beyondfitnessdelray.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Or-
There was something I wanted to ask you. What are the ages of people who attend the gym?
So we have classes for everyone. So our earlier
So
morning
cool.
classes are a little more high intensity. And then we have our mid from 10:30 to about 12:30. Those are our senior-based classes. We either have Arthritis Foundation, chair yoga, we have stretch and balance, and then we have our Rock City Boxing. And then in the afternoon, we have our kids and teens, and we even have a parents and kids play hour where the parents do a
So
workout.
cool.
And then I play, and my son teaches with me. He's 8. So we teach a class together, and
That's
we
so
bring
cool.
play back. You know,
Oh.
teach people to play and to build with blocks and use your bodies. And then in the evening, we have some more boxing classes as well. And we're open to evolve and change based on what the community wants. So if they want music therapy, we have it. If anyone wants to use our space to enhance the community and wellness, they can use it. It's the community's to share. I'm just honored to be a part of it, to have the space, and I wanted to share it.
It's so lovely.
Yeah.
It's so lovely. What is a time, because, you know, we have our listeners, and what is a time in your journey where you, I mean, I know you talked about the leaving work, but was there any other time in your life where you heard a voice and you sort of resisted it?
Yes.
And had to have a sort of a breakthrough? Because, you know, I know there are people listening. I get that feeling that there are people listening that really need to hear about all of the guest specific experiences so they can have courage. Like, I really want you listeners to, from Colleen, get some courage.
So I guess I've heard that voice my whole life. I just haven't given it the attention it deserved. So I've had many different instances in my life. I mean, I've had married, divorce, and the whole time I've heard this voice. And every instance I've been through has strengthened my ability to listen to that voice. You know, sometimes I can hear it and I recognize it right away. That's now. But before, it would take me months of listening to it until sometimes I actually started getting physically sick. I would get rashes. My body responds, and it took me to look at what's going on with my body. My skin would break out. And then I was like, oh, I should have listened. And then I make the change. So I guess life is our teacher, and it's the instances, what we can get for them. Start listening and start trusting ourselves.
And slowing down. You know, one of the things, if you go to Colleen, if you go to Beyond Fitness, a lot of, the yoga, and it teaches us to get into the natural rhythm. And I think stress is the first manifestation of, when we're resisting, we begin to resist change when we're trying to move.
And yoga and meditation, that's what got me in touch with myself the most. It was going through my divorce, and I just found a podcast, and I just started sitting still, listening to it. First, just having someone guide me. And then eventually I started hearing my own self. And then I was like, you start talking to yourself, and you can even, when you're in those quiet moments, ask yourself the questions, and you will respond back. You just have to listen and sometimes be patient.
And sometimes you'll follow, like I said, we have, a lot of stuff going on inside of our minds.
Right.
But if you don't start the conversation with yourself, you can't ever have a conversation with yourself.
Right.
If you choose to, and I think that that's so important, is to take the time. I always say the only person you're with from the beginning to the end of your life is you. That's the relationship you came here to nurture, and that's the piece of God you came here to grow. And so you got to spend time with yourself.
Right. And have fun and laugh at yourself. And I'm my best friend sometimes, and you learn to trust yourself. And that's the most important. And
And the greatest ideas come when we're alone, when we stop listening to the outside voices and start listening to the inner voices. Where do you see Beyond Fitness going? Where would you like it to go? Where do you think it would? What's your dream?
My dream is really just to bring love to the community, and to one thing when we were in New Zealand is we liked the way we felt there. We liked the sense of community. And we were about to just be like, let's go there. But we can't right now. So we said, well, how can we bring that love, that same thing? Well, we can start with what we do. And so we figured this is our start. This is how we share our love with the community.
I love that.
And when you touch one person, they go out and they share and they help others. And even when I was meditating, I kept asking, what is this going to look like?
Yeah.
And my mind said, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
You're going to limit yourself. Yeah. Allow it to just be. And that's what the word beyond is going to be, beyond what I even comprehend. So I'm just going to follow my inner voice, and I'm going to trust and just make the choices of our space based on that. So that's why I was like, it goes perfect with your story, just listening and trusting. And I know it's probably the most different business plan you've ever heard of, but
no, actually, I don't know. Those are the circles I run in, actually.
Good.
And a lot of people are making those kind of decisions because we have multiple careers, multiple choices. I was just saying to somebody I work with that we've been to many places now in a row, and I'm like, do you remember when we used to stay at a job for 4 or 5 years?
Yeah.
And we just, you just move, you just grow, because as you grow, the universe gives you more. Gives you more responsibility. And I can definitely see you, even just bringing a group to New Zealand.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool.
Traveling, taking people there. That was where in New Zealand I was thinking that. I was like, I would love to take people on hikes and teach them about eating well and using
just
their body.
Just even doing
feeling.
your yoga in the green.
I would love that. It was the most beautiful place. Music time.
Okay, so you can contact Colleen Sturgis at Beyond Fitness. I keep saying that. BeyondFitness.com.
Beyond Fitness Delray.
I knew that. BeyondFitnessDelray.com. She has this delicious light energy. Please go see her. Please go see her and spend some time there. Bring your kids. It's a great thing for moms. And we'll be right back with another very special guest talking about divine guidance. This is Rabbi Jenny, Colleen Sturgis. Thank you. The presidential candidates are talking about it. The talk show hosts are talking about it. It's all over the news. Maybe it's time you should start talking about it. Maybe it's time for you to get help. If you or someone you love is suffering from a heroin addiction, Epiphany Resources has the solution for you. Heroin addiction manifests in an apathy and a disinterest in life. At Epiphany Resources, Rabbi Jenny and her acclaimed clinical team reignite and empower their clients to embrace life for a bright future in recovery. With groundbreaking creative and spiritual modalities combined with narrative reframing and cognitive behavioral therapy, the team at Epiphany Resources neutralize the cravings for heroin and reawaken one's desire for joy and life. It's time to talk about it. It's time to heal. It's time to recover from heroin addiction. Contact Epiphany Resources at www.etcfl.com or call 561-777-0241. Epiphany Resources. It's time to begin. The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Caladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net.
Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from The Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life.
You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
Welcome back. It's Rabbi Jenny. We are talking about divine guidance. We're talking about the story of Noah or your inner Noah. And we're here to encourage you. We had a beautiful guest just here, Colleen Sturgis from Beyond Fitness. And we are just trying to encourage you today to follow that inner voice. This is the time. You know, we were right in that part of the Torah where it is time. It's encouraging you. The energy is here for change and transformation, and it's going to support you. You know, they say leap and the net will appear, and I promise you that it will. Okay? So we are going to introduce our Tom, Dick, or Harry. We have lots of guests today.
I'll talk to any Tom or Dick or Harry. Any Tom. Any Dick. Any Harry.
Yeah. All right. We have Dr. G here, one of our favorite guests, one of our top guests here on the Rabbi Jenny Show. Dr. G from Green Life Intensive Outpatient down in Pembroke Pines, Florida. Welcome, Dr. G.
Welcome to us.
Yes. There's so much light going on here. And Dr. G, I'm putting it on now that we're live on Facebook, Stepping into Joy, Dr. G's book, which is absolutely wonderful. It is a joyful take on the 12-step journey. From its substance abuse and the 12-step journey through anything in your life, I believe. Absolutely.
Exactly.
Any transformation or change that you're welcoming in your life. So we're talking about divine guidance. We're going to throw you right in here. You've been in the studio the whole time. Talk about your own experience with following that inner voice.
The thing that I think about first is that it's so important that I create a space to be still and to somehow or another block out all the other voices because there are many. And most of them are not giving us good information. And so it's real important to be still in order to know God and to know God's guidance. So I look for places to do that. I have my own special place at home, but I look for other places as well throughout the day just to take some time apart and breathe and just allow myself to check myself out and be sure that I'm in the flow. And I think we know when we're in the flow.
Yes, I think so.
And when we're not in the flow.
Well, it's easy. We flow.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I want to know a Noach moment from your life, a moment in your own life where you followed an inner voice, maybe against the advice of others or maybe against your own outer eyes, and you took a leap of faith. Why don't you share the listeners something from your life like that?
I think the thing that comes to mind first is that I got out of treatment at South Miami Hospital in 1980, and I began a new beginning in my life. And not only a new beginning in my life, but a new identity in terms of a profession. All of a sudden, I am an addiction counselor. I didn't know anything about addiction counseling, but I knew that something had happened inside of me that had changed the direction of my life, and I thought that was foundational enough that I could begin to move in that direction. And after I had been back into that profession for a little while as a counselor at South Miami Hospital, believe it or not, the same hospital where I went through treatment actually
They've been around a
gave
long
me
time.
an opportunity to become a therapist, a counselor.
That's awesome.
And I began to think in terms of the family and how I could be involved in the healing process of families. And I had a mentor there who was just so important to me. I don't believe these people show up in our lives by accident. And she inspired me to pursue a degree in marriage and family therapy. Now, I had a couple of graduate degrees, which helped me to get into South Miami Hospital as a therapist. And the thought of going back to school at, I think, 48 years of age and working on another master's degree. And anyone who's out there who's done graduate work understands what I'm talking about. You just really don't want to do that unless it's just real important. But it was important to me because I was hearing that voice. I was hearing that voice from within that was saying, stretch, go, build an ark. It may take a while. And I'm thinking a while ago when you were preaching, Rabbi, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that it took Noah 120 years to build that ark.
And it's very big. Like, if you look at the dimensions of it, it was giant.
It was huge.
Huge, yeah.
And Noah just kept on hammering away, you know, and he had to be the laughing stock of the whole community because it wasn't raining yet. And but somehow or another, Noah knew that, hey, God said it was going to rain, so if God said it, had to be true.
And holding that is
And so I knew that master's degree was going to be a long time, too, and it felt like 120 years to me. But I kept on keeping on. I think that's the idea. Just follow that call from within. And as Churchill said, never, never, never give up. If there's one thing I think that characterizes Dr. G is that I just won't give up.
No, I keep going. You know, what he says, and one of my favorite quotes is one of his also, you know, when you're going through hell, keep going.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Why'd you stop?
And another thing Churchill said one time, he said that success is maintaining your enthusiasm after failure.
Right.
So...
Well, because failure in itself is a very interesting word. I think I think a lot of it, if we replace that with practice or experience, we move a little faster. So we know you moved forward and took another leap and formed Green Life Intensive Outpatient. Talk about Green Life and the type of groups you do there, and how someone can get in touch with you at Green Life Intensive Outpatient.
Okay,
talk about that.
Green Life is an intensive outpatient program. We're licensed by the state of Florida. DCF is the governing, licensing, monitoring arm of all substance abuse programs, residential as well as intensive outpatient programs in the state of Florida. And after spending so many years working in treatment, helping build treatment programs over in Dade County, and just longing to do more, wanting to expand, I was getting bored with Randy Green. I said, "There's more here.
There's more to do.
There's more
to
here.
give.
I want to take all of this training that I've had, all of these experiences that I've had, and I want to bring them into a more structured program where I can express who I really am." So I can express what I feel like that inner voice had been calling me to do and preparing me to do all of these years.
Yeah.
Everything that had gone before was preparing me. I really felt that in my heart, because to try to explain what happened and how it happened is very difficult. But I knew, and I knew that I knew.
And
that
I think
this
that
was
that,
me.
and you trust it.
This is what I had to do. Just like I think Noah knew, I have to build this ark.
Yes. And I think that it's and I always tell you, it's what's inside of us. And I think that our guest today, the theme today is that for the listeners, I want you to know you have that in you. And when you know that you know that we're cheering you on here at the show, go for it, and tell us about it. So the website for Green Life
is www.greenlifeiop.com.
Yes. And Doctor, you have written a book.
I have
Stepping
written a
into
book.
Joy. And how does one get that copy of that book? How do we do that?
Well, they can go right to that web page and just write me a little note, and I'll be sure they get it.
Can they get it on Amazon?
They can get it on Amazon.
Okay. So
they can get it on Barnes & Noble.
Oh, so Stepping into Joy with Dr. Green.
And then come over to Pembroke Pines and see me, and I'll buy them a cup of coffee and give them a discount on my book.
What's your favorite group that you do at Green Life Intensive Outpatient?
My favorite group is every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday with my maybe 8 to 10 people.
Mm-hmm.
We are very small. We're very intimate. We're not trying to build an empire. We really don't want more than about 12 people at any one time.
That's great.
I'm the clinical director. I do all the lectures. I do all the group work. And this is my favorite group. Whatever group I'm doing on Monday, whatever group I'm doing on Wednesday, whatever group I'm doing on Thursday, that's my favorite group. And I love it. And I was telling my partner today, I said, you know what? When I die, I want to die right there in that chair doing the group.
Wow. That's unbelievable. What's the topic for the group tomorrow?
Well, I don't know yet. I always check with my knower. And I'm not in tomorrow yet, Rabbi. I'm in today.
Well, goodness gracious. That's pretty awesome.
But when I get there tomorrow, my knower will tell me just exactly what the topic is, and we'll go with it.
And if you're struggling with substance abuse, one of the things about Dr. G is his spirit is so unbelievably lit up. And if you can't see your life past that, you want to be around Dr. G and myself and other people who've just found these amazing lives beyond alcohol, beyond drugs, beyond all of those things that stop us from living our life.
My philosophy, and I know this is yours too, Rabbi, that recovery isn't about just being abstinent. Mm-hmm. Recovery is about the opportunity to create the kind of life where alcohol and drugs and any other addictions, behavioral or otherwise, are not necessary.
No, absolutely.
Are not necessary.
No. So we're going to go to www.greenlifeiop.com to meet with Dr. G and get amazing treatment experience. This is Rabbi Jenny. We're talking about following divine guidance. We'll be right back with the Joy Jar Challenge and the Jenny Jam. You'll stick around, Dr. G? All right. Oh, now I get to be a doctor. That's awesome. The after-school hours between 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. are when millions of children go home alone or are without adult supervision. Statistics have shown that during this time, gang involvement, teenage pregnancy, and drug use begins. For the past 15 years, For the Children, Inc., a place where children come first, has been a pioneer in providing quality after-school programming for underprivileged youth aged 5 to 18 in Palm Beach County. Our children are our future. To ensure their success, they must have equal access to quality educational, personal growth, and leadership tools. For the Children, Inc. provides them all. Donate now to For the Children, Inc. at www.forthechildrenfirst.org.
This public service announcement for the Children, Inc. was brought to you by the law offices of Manjula Caladini, Esquire, concentrating in immigration law. www.immigrationassociates.net.
Hi, it's Rabbi Jenny from The Rabbi Jenny Show. Are you planning a wedding, baby naming, or bar bat mitzvah? Have you recently adopted a pet, bought a new home, or opened a new business? Do you have an important anniversary coming up and would like to renew your vows? Have you recently lost a loved one and need some compassion and care through this process? These are some of the many life events that touch our lives. It is at these moments that we need a special person for guidance and compassion and care to officiate and guide us through those moments. Call me, Rabbi Jenny, at 561-346-8207 to guide you and officiate these life events. 561-346-8207. Rabbi Jenny, for personal compassion and care and loving guidance for the important events of your life. The presidential candidates are talking about it. The talk show hosts are talking about it. It's all over the news. Maybe it's time you should start talking about it. Maybe it's time for you to get help. If you or someone you love is suffering from a heroin addiction, Epiphany Resources has the solution for you. Heroin addiction manifests in an apathy and a disinterest in life. At Epiphany Resources, Rabbi Jenny and her acclaimed clinical team reignite and empower their clients to embrace life for a bright future in recovery. With groundbreaking creative and spiritual modalities combined with narrative reframing and cognitive behavioral therapy, the team at Epiphany Resources neutralize the cravings for heroin and reawaken one's desire for joy and life. It's time to talk about it. It's time to heal. It's time to recover from heroin addiction. Contact Epiphany Resources at www.etcfl.com or call 561-777-0241. Epiphany Resources. It's time to begin.
You have been listening to Rabbi Jenny, who asks, are you ready to bring more light and love and joy into your life? A spiritually uplifting show that will change your world. Call in at 888-565-1470 or email at rabbijenny.com and share your thoughts with Rabbi Jenny. Now, back to our show.
Hey, welcome back. It's Wednesday. It's Rabbi Jenny Show. We are talking about following your divine guidance and having the courage to do so. We're talking about the story of Noah. We're talking about, just this. It's an interesting day. That's all I got to tell you. But I believe that we are in the beginning of transformation. So it is time to follow that voice and trust that even if it looks not so good, I promise you that things will change and grow and get better. All right, it is time for the Ridiculous Joy Jar Challenge.
Joy, 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 joy. It's Adeline Gobergstein, and it's time for the Rabbi Jenny Ridiculous Joy Jar Challenge.
Hi, who's on the air tonight?
This is Carolyn.
Hi, Carolyn. Do you know about the Joy Jar Challenge?
I have heard of you. Awesome.
Okay, do you got 10 things that you're ridiculously joyful for?
Absolutely.
Let's hear them, Lady Jane.
Okay, so, of course, first is going to be my faith. Second is going to be my family. Third is going to be the beach, because that's where you can rejuvenate. 4 would be my beautiful grandchildren. The air and the oxygen and the energy to exercise. The joyfulness of having another day. Let's see. My favorite of all would be wine and enjoying life's journey.
Okay. You got 2 more, girly girl.
Okay.
Let's hear. What's your favorite food?
Animals,
Huh?
My animals, my English bulldogs, are extremely squishable. And then, least but not that important, Florida stone crabs.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I don't get to have those now that I'm a rabbi, but I used to really, really like those. I used to really like that shellfish. All right, Miss Carolyn, what would you like to promote on the Rabbi Jenny Show?
I am a Boise ambassador, which is a ambassador for the Boise family that is a wine producer. We do in-home private tastings, custom wine labels, and Red Sox Society, which is a wine club of 4 times a year with 4 different vineyards.
Wow. Do you have a website where people can reach you?
Absolutely. myboise.collection.carolyn.lang, L-A-I-N-G.
L-A-I-N-G. Can you spell that again?
No,
the whole thing. The whole website.
My.boise is B-O-I-S-S-E-T, collection.com/Carolyn.Lang, L-A-I-N-G, or Wine W with Carolyn.
All right.
Wine with Carolyn.
Okay, Carolyn. Well, thank you so much for calling the Rabbi Jenny Show.
Awesome.
And you have a ridiculously joyful night.
You too. Back at you.
Okay, my love. Take care. All right. Wow. Okay. Well, I've never heard of that. That's kind of cool. You can bring a bunch of people to your house and mix your own wine. It would have been fun. About 22 years ago. No. Awesome. So thank you, Carolyn. We'll promote that website plus all the other websites we've heard at the end of the show. But it is going to be time now for the Jenny Jam. It's time. Yo, yo, yo.
Jam. Rabbi Jenny Jam.
All right.
Jam.
And we're doing Noah. Remember when Noah. Noah. Can you hear me, Noah? Can you hear me, Noah? Can you hear me? I said, Noah. Can you hear me, Noah? Can you hear me, Noah? Can you hear me? You see, I know it's nice and sunny and it's looking good outside, but there's gonna be a flood that will take you on a ride. All the hatred and the greed, there's a wave of sorrow hold. There's a wave of sorrow coming for a clean reality. I said, Noah. It's a little backwards. Can you hear me, Noah? Can you hear me, Noah? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Take the values that you hold and the love that's in your heart and begin to build a ship, loading all the life you are. Take each thing, life of beauty, all the species that you see. Put it on and lift the anchor, stay the course and get to sea. I said, Noah. Can you hear me, Noah? Can you hear me, Noah? Can you hear me? Send the raven for the healing, send the dove to message peace. It's a vision for a new day. Listen up, oh listen please. I said, Noah. Can you hear me, Noah? Can you hear me, Noah? Remember? Can you hear me? Oh, I think that's like it might be my favorite one today. Because I say they're my favorite every week. I love doing the Rabbi Jenny Jams. It's like, thank you so much for letting me do this show. You know, everybody who sponsors the show, I just want to do an extra thank you because I work hard and this is my bliss. You know, with all this change and transformation going on, when I woke up and I wrote this song and I was able to put on the beat and really focus on what are the message I wanted to bring. And what the message of the Torah is this week, which is following your divine guidance. Now, I want to remind you that divine guidance doesn't come in a really convenient, friendly way, okay? Usually it seems impossible or crazy or completely out of the box. And a lot of times it goes completely opposite everything you've been taught, which is like, whoa, I'm going to go against everything anybody's ever said to me. You know, I'm going to just take a chance and believe in myself. Well, yes, that's what this show is all about, folks. This show, the Rabbi Jenny Show, is all about shining your light and taking a chance because we need you to. Today, more than ever, we've learned that we need you to. We need you to step out of the box and follow that inner voice, whatever it is. If it's telling you to create something, go create it. The universe will answer you. It will answer you in ways you might not expect. Our guest spoke about it so beautifully tonight that no matter what, the door's always open. Now, the most important thing is to not worry what the door's going to look like. I think so often we block the guidance through our expectations and what we think is supposed to be. But I really don't think Noah thought like that. I think he just followed the directions. You know, he just said, okay, fine. This is crazy. There's no rain, but I'll do it. You know, and I love that movie. There's a movie with Stephen Carell where he actually plays like a Noah, a senator who has to build an ark, and it's crazy, but it shows, you know, all the animals show up. And sometimes it's like amazing how many synchronicities happen in your life, how many things just I don't know, ideas just come to you and you get in the flow and you just follow it and you follow it. And the more you do it, the better. So I want to make a suggestion because you might be listening and going, Rabbi Jenny, some of this sounds a little crazy. It's a little bit too much for me. So I want you to listen for that voice in a different way. I want you to start simple. I want you to start with, if you're driving to work and you get this kind of urge to go a different way, go a different way. If you're outside and you see a flyer on the wall and you think, that looks like an interesting class, go take the class. Don't think in big, giant things. If you're picking up your coffee in the morning and you think, I really don't want coffee today, don't drink it. Okay? So you just want to start paying attention to the little ways that you actually communicate with yourself. Don't go big. Because let me tell you, we make a million choices a day. We've spoken about that on the Rabbi Jenny Show. Every single thing you do is significant, especially when it comes to loving yourself. Because you are divine love, light, energy. And you are always expanding and always growing. And it's your job to get as bright as you possibly can so you can join with my light and Dr. G's light and Colleen's light and everybody's light on the planet to get us brighter and brighter and brighter so we can continue expanding and growing and pushing the limit. Pushing the limit of what we can do on this planet. One of the most wonderful things about this election day that is very different than the way I felt, I guess, when I was in college when somebody else won, is that the world is smaller. We are a global place, folks. So what happened here does not just affect us here. It is affecting everybody. And there's some hope in that. Because whatever that energy is that came out is going to be balanced or affected or move. It's going to move people in ways they never even expected it. It's going to confront our own open-mindedness for myself, my heart. Like, who am I going to let and keep in my life? Am I not going to keep in my life? I really confront my own ego, my own limiting beliefs, But it's time. It's really time. This is it. This is the beginning of Torah. This is the story of Noach. This is the time to listen to that still voice that's telling you to do something a little big, something a little kooky, Maybe it's letting people in a little bit more. I'm feeling that. Maybe it's letting people love you and know you a little bit more. Maybe it's watching the Rabbi Jenny Show again, because this was a good one. I have a lot of people to thank tonight. I want to remind you about Beyond Fitness, delray.com with Colleen Sturgis. Please go there. Lovely light. I want to remind you of greenlifeiop.com down in Pembroke Pines with Dr. G. I also want to remind you of myboyzettecollection.com/Carolyn Lang. Okay, if you need to rewind the show to get that, I think it's LAING. I want to thank our sponsors, Epiphany Resources. I adore you. I want to thank Manju Kalindindi, mydaughter.com. She's going to come on for that website. That's an amazing website I'm a part of. And I want to remind you, keep shining. Follow your inner guidance. Push the limit, folks. It is time. Let me tell you. Wake up and stay awake. All right, this is Rabbi Jenny. See you next Wednesday.
You have been listening and lighting up your life with Rabbi Jenny. Join us next week for another session of love, light, and joy as Rabbi Jenny takes life to the next level. Are you ready? Rabbi Jenny says the time is now. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Talk Health. Talk